Welcome to SpellForce free cast. This is going to be a best of 3 series between our Undead purple player Vlad from Karstein, also known as Donhyperion. And on the other side, we've got in the pink our troll player Leasha. Looking forward to this one. We've got the Lich spawning and the Beak Eye. The game is modded, and this map is called the Loranian Catacombs. So this is a community-made map. It's got like these pest bugs as creeps. Yeah, it's also got some moles. It's got some jellyfish, some big stupid jellyfish. And it's got the siphoned abomination over here in the corner, which is, by the way, not a base. There's just a godstone here, no base. Anyways, let's talk a little bit about the Lich. Let's talk about the Undead, who are a modded faction normally not in the game. So I'm not sure if people are aware of this already. You can just grab it on the Steam Workshop of the Versus Edition, all the mods. And they're going to be in the description as well for the YouTube video. In the stream, they're already there. Anyways, you can summon the Servant. You can explode it. Explode the dead, rather. Which is rather useful. Then you've got this miasma skill, the suffocating cloud, so that's some pretty useful business. It does damage over time in the area. And then you got extinct, which is if the target has low health, then you execute them and you just deal some magic damage anyhow and apply bleeding to said enemies. You can stick stack your servants, and you've got the walking corpse following you. You can make them from the home base. You can get them from your scouting post. And then later on, what's going to be really interesting is you can turn the Lich into a sort of Super Saiyan version of himself. Perfection is what it's called. He transforms into a Lich King, which has, you know, it's a completely different model. It's got a very, very powerful attack. On the left side here, you've got Requiem as the ultimate skill, which is just a massive AoE burst damage. And then you've got Pain over here, which is just some single target damage, and it applies, it scales with Forbidden Knowledge a little bit. So, you know, that's nice, because what that does is, if you cast Necromancy skill from the right side, then your next Death skill from the left side is actually going to be empowered. So if that is on, then you know, there's additional effects, as you can see here. Likewise over here, the miasma cloud is probably going to be a pretty good pick-me-up later on. And then you've got the Perfection Can't Please Me, which makes the perfect form a lot stronger, although it doesn't say exactly how. I don't remember the stats off the top of my head. Anyways, it reduces your health a lot. And Leasha has this Beak Eye hero, which normally the trolls don't have. There's a multi-throw ability here. Throws multiple spears. It's also got an aimed throw for single target damage. It's got a trap which just got placed over there around the Undead. Hunting Frenzy is just a one of these buffs that makes him shoot several shots at a time, and it makes him attack really fast. And then on the right side, you got all the stuff to do with the beaks. So you can train your birds into better versions, so you don't need to tier up for those, and you have early access basically to them, which is really cool. And then you've got some buffs here and there and debuffs on enemies. This is really useful stuff. Hunting Throws basically applies Hunter's Mark, same as this one. And then Master Hurler is just buffing your weapons in different way. You can have a throwing axe or a throwing spear. Takes a bit of a shopping run. We might get to see... Oh, Leasha. No! Leasha just lost a hero. Maybe on purpose, but probably not, because you still want the sector. You still want the XP, right? And now if the Smasher actually kills these Undead, that experience will be lost forever. That's a little bit unfortunate. Donhyperion is already here for the punish, using the Lich's servants, so they're going to be pretty useful here for the early game to do some damage to flags. And back home, obviously, we've got a stone-heavy economy. These guys care about stone a whole lot. They've got The skelly workers, they come 2 at a time in these different buildings, except the stone, which houses 4 people. So your first sector has to be stone that you capture, and then you can move on to other stuff. Upgrading the sectors only gives you 2 more workers, so it's probably better to go wide most of the time. But for your bases to have some health, you kind of need, you know, a little bit of upgrading. It's just not a priority, I would say. You also got some mausoleums out already. And they're gonna probably be pumping out skeleton archers, which is actually one of the only range units that you got. The Undead unit roster is pretty cool, I'd say. But one thing they absolutely cannot deal with is mass air. So that could be quite punishing if the beak eye goes into a lot of flyboys. Leasha typically doesn't do it though, so we might not get to see that. Like right now, we're still just training smashers. It's completely normal play at the moment. By the way, these cave spawns have the decaying nerf onto enemies. Whoever hits them gets decaying. It's a huge resistance reduction, so these lighter walking corpses could have been killed by that, but Donhyperion is doing a pretty good job here with just a handful of additional archers made. His free walking corpses from the bases are doing a lot of work, but the trolls are also cleaning up the moles already, so everything's working in order here. Probably next up we're going to see the Nidari getting bullied by the trolls. It should be relatively easy with 5 smashers, right? But the undead have other ideas. They're going to be going after the workers instead, doing a little bit of damage. Suffocating is a pretty strong effect over here, as you can tell. It reduces total health by quite a lot. We've got a corpse explosion here as well for the undead. Level 4 versus level 4. It's a pretty even fight. Not a lot of pierce damage in here, so Hunter's Mark isn't helping that much. But even the base does pierce damage, so it synergizes very nicely with trolls overall. It's just not this time, as there's no throwers yet. The smashers need their little training for this. Maybe we'll get around to that soon. For now, Donhyperion is just happy to put on a little bit of pressure and keep the trolls at bay, so that they're not just taking the Nidari for free. That would be a pretty brutal burst if the beak eye gets to level 6, which is exactly what would happen. You probably aren't going to be going after the Siphoned Abomination for the longest time, though. Beak eye's taking a lot of damage, which is especially a big problem during the suffocating debuff. See what else Don is up to. He's currently taking over one of these bases. By the way, iron doesn't matter in this match. Neither player has iron. They're both using scrap as a resource, but echo as well is being used by the undead. So they really have an ultimate sort of end game, and they're taking away the scrap from the... Oh, I didn't realize there's scrap in there. Did that change? Hold up. I thought there wasn't any scrap there. That's interesting. Let's take a look at his perspective so we can see the rest. This map doesn't help us that much. It looks like these are the bases that have it. Okay, these second sectors have it. And that's that. Now we know. Learning live. Ooh, that's a great pullback micro, and that's Smasher 57 health for the escape. We also have a little bit of added throwers now. It's more of a priority to have them with the beak eye than the others, because you can only reduce pierce resistance for enemies. And Hunter's Mark gets applied by all sorts of abilities here. This army is starting to look big enough to me that the Nidari should be considered for a snipe. I think both players are thinking this. Beak-Eye now has the throwing axe, or throwing. Silence is the added effect for the Stinky Cloud over there. We've also got some Skeleton Warriors getting added in. And Donhyperion has reached tier 2 behind us, by the way. Gotta be careful not to stand on that trap. Donhyperion activated with a single walking corpse. Leasha can't fool anybody here. The flood continues. Leasha is trying very hard to hold back the tide, but it's difficult. Forbidden Knowledge is currently empowering the next skill. Let's see what it's gonna be. Maybe some single target damage to finish off these smashers would be pretty good. The silence is nice as well, however, I have to say. Hunter's Mark is now applied to the Lich. Minus 3% pierce resist there. And one smasher gets picked off. Archers are doing their best to get the Bikai snipe, but it's not going to be that easy, not with the potions around. And heroes generally are quite tanky as well. I have to say the Skeleton Warriors are a good addition against all this pierce damage. Bikai is one of the few heroes in the game that does pierce damage, by the way. It's highly unusual. Tried to set the trap on top of these guys, but didn't quite work out. Throwers getting sniped left and right. Spike flingers are out. They're going to be doing some AoE damage, but not that one. That one's dead. Donhyperion has so many bases, ladies and gents. We've got fortified outposts now coming out. The corrupted temples are done. Let's talk a little bit about that unit roster, right? Like, you could be seeing some undead trolls from the Undead, which are the early game siege units here in the mid game. Or early mid game siege unit, I wanted to say. We've got some Revenant Knights coming through, which later you can upgrade as well to provide a little bit of a shielding aura, kind of like you see with the creep version of this Revenant Knight. And then later on you can get the Envoys of Death. Very powerful melee cavalry with a bit of cleaving damage. You got the Skeleton Riders for the mid game if you want to do some multi-pronged harassment. That's also going to be an option. And then in the Corrupted Temples, you got the Bloaters. Just explode these Suicide Boys. Already leveled up there. We got the Wraith, which are immune, almost immune to physical damage, but extremely weak to magic, which might be a good option here in the mid game, actually. Later on, you got the Spectres, who are your mage units, and you got the Flash Golems, who are your ultimate siege unit. Not so great against the army, however. Anyway, Donhyperion is done here, and he's gonna go to defend the fortified outpost out there. Level 6 has been achieved for him. Just taking a quick look, he's unlocked the 2 ultimates and has 3 points in Deep Waters, no other skill unlocked, 2 points in Arcane Force. So we should be seeing him turn into his perfect form soon enough. Probably not in a rush with that great micro again, with the one walking corpse absorbing the trap. Well played. Skull Crusher is a good addition here. Oh, here comes the big one. Oh, that's gonna hurt Leasha. Oh, not walking out of it. That's definitely done a lot of damage. It also does a stun, by the way. Donhyperion, it's called Requiem. Donhyperion is switching into the perfect form. There's the Lich King, ladies and gents.
It shall be done.
You can only cast a handful of spells. Like, you can still summon. These Revenants will just keep getting summoned. He's got a very powerful attack, including with some pure damage. There's a small leech in there. But yeah, I think the improvement from the passive is that you can keep casting your spells, right? If I recall correctly. It's just Donhyperion doesn't have that right now. He's using the light version of the Lich. He's still losing health over time as he's in this form. So eventually he will have to swap out. But for now, he's absolutely owning Leasha at 139 to 53 population only for the trolls. The Eye of the Tribe is under siege. Leasha does not have stuff. Trying to get the hero back out, but it's just not going to be necessary as the Undead absolutely overwhelm here. The Lich King is, I suppose, king. That's a lot of summons that he has generated over time, by the way. I'm pretty sure some of these would have been warriors, right? But I think most of them were summons, in fact. Pretty sure about it. That was kind of brutal. Were they just Revenant models? Because some of the Revenants, interestingly, don't have... Oh, they're timed Revenants. Okay, so you keep summoning Revenants now. I see. That's what that does. This aura of reanimation. That was very, very one-sided, ladies and gents. We've got close damage in terms of what the heroes did, but the sheer army size of the undead here in the mid-game just absolutely wrecked the trolls. Leasha couldn't have enough army out. Didn't have a level 6 hero, unlike Donhyperion, and it just went very one-sided from there, obviously. Leasha even went to the shop, so it's a little unfortunate to see this hero dominating so hard. We're here for game number 2. The map is going to be Frozen Waste, but it's the same factions, with Donhyperion playing as the Undead, and Leasha bringing the Trolls once again. Of the only snowy maps in the game, it's also a modern map, by the way, obviously, community made. I think Vic made this one. It's got these very boxed in bases, and one thing you can do with it is if you steal these bases and build up some towers, then you can deny iron or whatever that is, scrap mining. And it's got these troll ghosts, actually, over here. So those are going to be the... Are they actually trolls? It says Vendingo. I'm not sure that counts as trolls. Anyway, this time around, Donhyperion is still going to be the Lich, but Leasha is the Chieftain in this one. They must be trolls. They look like trolls to me. Yeah, okay. What other thing do we have here? Oh, in the middle there's 3 wyverns. Holy cow. 1 storm, 1 scorching, 1 ice. It's kind of wild. And in the middle we've got some skeleton champion. Unholy skeleton archer. Unholy skeleton guardian. Who's immune to stun. The skeleton warrior. Anyways, they have engaged, and I just missed a hero dying as I was looking at the creeps. What the hell happened? Shall we go back and check? We're gonna go back and check. I'll edit it for the cast, for the YouTube video. Okay, let's see what we've missed here. The Chieftain is actually taking a lot of fire from these guys. These are surprisingly powerful. And I'm not sure Leasha should have gone out there alone. We're kind of missing a Smasher to go along. And the Chieftain is currently getting nerfed with Suffocating, which reduces the health overall. And I think the Lich just needs 1 more attack to get the snipe. That is a brutal start. Leasha's definitely not having a great time here with this one. And Donhyperion should be just able to run away with this base. Keep summoning Lich servants, who will be taking the majority of the damage here anyhow. And then the Vendingo Hunters will be going down without any issue, using all the Lich skills. There's a really strong early game hero, this. So first off, Pain is just good damage overall. And it adds some health leeching, so you can kind of heal back up if you have the Forbidden Knowledge perk. The second Stonecutter is getting bonked by the Smasher. That's where Leasha sent the Smasher in the end. I think that's a good idea against this faction, because you need stones so badly in order to get the economy going. Although right now there's enough wood, so we're not too worried about that. You still want more food in order to constantly pump out a handful of walking corpses in the early game, right? And to keep upgrading your bases, you also need stone. So all those things do add up. I think it has to be taken seriously enough. These creeps are probably a little too strong to be tier 1. Or at least they shouldn't have 2 Vendingo hunters here. Like, that's 5 creeps, right? They're very, very strong for basic creeps. But maybe that's a good thing. Maybe this is how the game should work. They do go down in the end. Players aren't struggling or anything. I think that just shows how weak the others are. Banditos and zombies are, I think, way too weak. So this is going to be a troll sector, it seems. Or is it? Leasha is actually running low on health there. Manages to stay alive. Both of them are level 3, so that's good enough. I wonder if the undead are just going to be in a position soon in order to go after the skeleton bases. They probably might be. Doesn't look like it's a good idea for the Lich to engage with the chieftain directly. Health is low, and for the undead heroes, actually their health doesn't scale as they level up. So it just stays at 1200. Just kind of wild. You can, of course, get better items and whatnot and increase it that way. It's just kind of not the same. Like, the chieftain doesn't start at 1850, right? Leasha is constantly pumping out smashers. The third base is not being upgraded yet. We don't have the money for this. But more smashers you can expect. I think Donhyperion will just take this one. But it's kind of not like the other game where you get a lot of easy sectors. There's just not that many here. And a lot of them are in these boxed areas. So if the trolls can just secure that one. Oh, wait, the banner's over there? I kind of think it would be better if it was closer to the middle, but I think just this base is generally too small. Like, humans wouldn't be able to fit barracks, right? I definitely think this map is a bit in terms of size. It definitely needs like a lick of paint. Now these skeletons look pretty strong as well. Hey, the Wyverns have been pulled in. Surely they will leash back, right? Oh, this one doesn't want to Leasha back at all. It's here to bonk the banner. But the chieftain is level 4. He could be causing a lot of trouble for these undead. Fortunately for Donhyperion, the unholy skeleton archer is currently helping. Oh, the chieftain is about to go down. 72 health, he gets away. Just barely, teleporting out. Oh, that was rough. Now it's for Donhyperion to deal with these Storm Wyverns and the Ice one as well. Easier said than done. Face Kelly goes down. It's only potions they drop. Nothing special. And we've got a shopping run. Probably be buying items there. Oh, wait, what was that?
Did you feel that, Latia?
Oh, helmet. For that health regen. He doesn't have a lot of health, so health regen should be fairly effective. Trolls are going to be going after stuff now. They've got the tier 3 mighty crush stick, as well as the strong armor tier 2. You don't see that often. I like it. It looks cool. Lots of scrap metal on it. Level 5's achieved. Not so for Dawn, but once he's got this Storm Wyvern under control, he'll have his level 5, right? It's not far away now. Now Leasha's coming over to grab level 6 from the Wyverns, but gets hit by the fire over there. Kind of brutal. Picks up Thick-Hide Rage. Has Slam level 2 as well to apply that bleeding. And level 4 in Brute Force, so very left side focused. Breath of Vitality adds a little bit of extra health as well. And there's level 5 for Donhyperion. I wonder if he wants to take another, but probably shouldn't try. It's the same build as last time. No Miasma Cloud, even though once you have a lot of Undead, actually getting 10% extra out of your army is pretty sick.
The tribe needs more room. Build more shelters.
Looks like an opportunity here to go after some of these workers. The trolls are just gonna bonk the bases. They're so weak without upgrades. Holy cow, look at that. It just disappeared. That's why you have to upgrade the undead bases, like I said. It's not so much about the economic sensibilities. It's like, okay, do you want to get bonked in 2 hits? Yes or no? Easy Ice Wyvern grab. How many barracks does Donhyperion have? Looks like it's going to be like 3 of them. That's good to start. We've teleported out to defend. Leasha's looking for a big slam. Not sure that was quite the slam she was looking for. The bleed is going to be, however, great on these walking corpses. They can still bleed. Unlike most of the undead, who are just immune to bleeding. But at the very least, they're immune to weaken. I think they should be immune to bleeding as well. It's just not highlighted as a perk. Do you guys think Leasha is doing better with the Skull Crushers now? Because like you can just go and bonk bases. Even these stronger ones. Okay, the Fortified Outpost, not so much, but Frontier, you can probably bonk that. Just 4k health. Yeah, you guys see the Skellies are immune. The corpses still have some juices flowing. That is funny. See if that Lich is gonna transform. Ooh, that was a good hit. Well, the slam still does some good damage overall, I have to say. Don't consider to convert there. Oh, notice the pick-me-up on the ground. Finally. More mausoleums coming in. Doesn't matter if it's near to the iron. Nobody cares about iron in this match. Chieftain gets shoot away for now, but honestly, there's so many dead undead people here. It's starting to look like it might not have been a great idea to fight. Great dodge on the Requiem. Nobody was in there. Oh! Corpse explosion hurt all of these boys a lot. There were quite a bunch of corpses in there, probably. Hey, what's up here? I want all that stuff. It's Vic up there. Okay. He's the guy who made the map. Where is Rick? Does he play anymore? Haven't seen the guy in like a year. Maybe more. Donhyperion mostly sticking to just skeleton warriors and archers. It's gonna be difficult for them to fight against Skull Crushers. Probably need some magic damage in here as they resist both strike and pierce very well. Well, let's see if Dawn actually decides to go up to tier 3. For now, no, he'll need to collect some souls, but that's gonna be also not the easiest thing. There are plenty of echoes in the area. Oh, there's another Requiem coming. Oh, that was great. And he's able to actually finish off some of these weaker units. Now transforming into the Lich King or not. He doesn't want to risk it. Big boy goes down. But ultimately, Donhyperion still has to retreat. Got level 6 now. Maybe that makes a difference. I like that Leasha decided to add some extra towers in here. These are gonna be pretty useful. Immediately goes for the repairs. That suffocating debuff is so brutal for the trolls because they have such high health to begin with, right? They're gonna be hit with another Requiem right as their health is low. Oh no. Oh no, that's a disaster for them. If Donhyperion gets just a little bit more extra damage in there, he can do absolutely devastating damage to these basic units. But his population is essentially gone now. It's all about those skill uses. And Leasha is just gonna do what must be done and upgrade these guys into Wall Breakers and Skull Crushers. That will also fix all the damage on them. The training process heals you. Well, Donhyperion has upgraded everything to fortified outpost now, so doesn't really have weak links at this point. He's gonna be going after the Ice Wyvern to get some more experience. Like I said, you kind of want that extra damage. Where did the health come from? Oh, there's a revitalizing ring. That's useful. Kind of needed something like that. Leasha's taking the opportunity here, though, and with that massive population lead, the Trolls actually have a pretty good shot at this, I would say. Oh, I didn't put anything on the scoreboard, did I? The first game was a Donhyperion win. Anyway, you guys know that. Scorching Wyvern will be going down. It's a level up for the Chieftain. Level 6, level 7 on the way. Could max out the Brute Force wheel here. That's probably what should happen. And then the Ice Wyvern's next. Dawn does not want some. He just upgraded his Revenant Knights to provide the armored boon. So the nearby skellies and corpses will be getting quite a bit of extra resistances. Lich is back from a shopping run, I suppose. Probably bought some potions there. Leasha has level 7 now. Has a health and focus ring. The health one in particular is great there. Can you pick up items there? Wait a second. Is that actually interactable? Doesn't look like it. A bit of focus fire on the Chieftain, but he's got full pierce resistance, so you can't actually hurt him anymore. Not without some weakening. far as I recall, the Lich doesn't have. Expect some more big Requiem combos. Wraith is here with 60% strike resist, so that's going to be a hell of a unit to tank with. Decent Requiem once again. Ooh, Chieftain taking a lot of damage here, but also dealt a lot himself. Once he gets out, leave the rest to the trolls and they'll get the job done. Do remember the Skull Crushers actually hit multiple targets, 2 of them. Once you upgrade it, it'll be free. They're a massive upgrade over Smashers like that. Okay, we've got the Lich King. It might have been useful to have this earlier. Now it's not looking so hot overall for Donhyperion, and this guy cannot cast abilities, unfortunately. Not without the perk. And Donhyperion did not go for it. This form is obviously better for combat, but Leasha survived with so many units at low health. If they heal back up to full, they'll just get upgraded. And by the way, Leasha is tier 2 now, so she can also upgrade the Warbreaker to Warbringer. Goes into her own sector in order to get some throwers out. It's a good way to get rid of these low HP units. Speed up the healing process. Don's still in tier 2. Getting more Wraiths out would be ideal, but I'm not sure he's been harvesting enough in this game. But there are harvesters now coming through, and they're gonna have a whole lot of echoes here to bring home. Still a lot of them left there. That wasn't the best harvest. I'm not sure how that actually works, honestly. Sometimes they just absolutely spaghetti up the entire thing. And sometimes they bring home like 5 souls. Is that like randomized? Like, how does that work? I played Dark Elf for so long and I still don't know this. Donhyperion is trying to stay alive, but it's a desperate fight. Leasha's nearly maxed out. The Troll Horde is here. They're bonking everything and anything that moves. Lich King is out again. Once again attacking multiple targets. He's really cool, but I don't think he can make that big of a difference. This is just a very tall order right now. Just being in this form will make you consume all your potions. It's kind of a yikes. Not ideal to chase enemies with. And once these guys turn into mages, all that pure damage will be wonderful against the undead, who have actually some pretty decent resistances in some cases. Now, if you can get strike attacks into skeleton archers, that's great. Right, so it's worthwhile keeping at least some of these Skull Crushers around. Leasha going to do a shopping run. Gets Noria's command, wow. And some slowing orbs. That's massive. Please don't forget to put it on though. Okay. We got it. The army still doesn't seem to have Warbringers, right? Just the one. It's going to be buffing nearby allies with some extra damage. 20% is that empower, so it's pretty strong. Now a lot of the Smashers are just going to go and turn into Flesh Eaters. Some much needed mages getting added to the game here. I think Donhyperion meanwhile has absolutely siphoned up all the echo. He has a little bit in the bank now. With at least a handful of Wraiths, but the Wraiths, they're not that healthy, right? So the pure damage is still gonna hurt them significantly. Magic as well. It'll be a brutal counter. Leasha is ready. She's ready for this fight. Oh, that hero got one shot by all the ranged. Great Requiem cast, but still the hero's dead. And like I said, the mages are just gonna hard counter these wraiths. And that's probably it, with Donhyperion down to 21 population. I think Leasha just needs to go to the main and destroy it. End the game. Might be playing patiently, however. Just take one sector at a time. That's also good. There's only one wall breaker? No, two. Two wall breakers. They are both empowered, however, by the Warbringer. And some good extra damage from that. Do bear in mind that when units die, the Flesh Eater can just eat them and deny the echo to Undead or Dark Elves. That's a pretty interesting relationship between the two. Oh man, the Wraiths are not the answer here. Good Requiem cast once again, but by itself it's not gonna do the job. Leasha's just dominating a little bit too hard. There's no in-between state for these two. Somebody's got to stomp the other. Or maybe game 3 tells us otherwise. Let's see. But in this one, I feel like Donhyperion had some early momentum. He started really picking off people. And he had the level advantage. But then he just didn't have the macro behind it, because this map doesn't offer a lot of bases, right? And Leasha was actually just ahead in terms of the base size. So there were more workers for her. And if the trolls are ahead in workers, well, you're going to be in significant trouble. Well, towards the end anyway, she was ahead in workers. But being close in workers is already bad. Like, you have to have a significant advantage as the other factions. That's why trolls are just so good on these smaller maps. Now let's see about that game 3. Here we are with game number 3. And that's another modded map, ladies and gents. We got Breathing Swamps here in the purple color. This is Donhyperion playing as the Undead. And on the other side, Leasha is playing as the Dwarves. Now both of the players will basically have to go for a pathing that goes towards the iron, not the iron, the stone. So I think if you go this route with Donhyperion, you have to skip the first base and buy the second one. That's where the stone is. This time he's gone with the School Knight, interestingly. Let's take a look at the skills of that one. So first off, you got the Brutal Punch. Which, if terror is applied from Terrifying Warcry, which is just a small nerf to attack, damage, and movement speed, then you get to knock down people with that. Otherwise, it's just a pretty weak damage and focus reduction. You also got Execute. If there's a knockdown target, you can just absolutely bonk him over the head with 400 pure damage, whereas normally it's just 150. Now, there are multiple ways to knock people down. For example, at... I think Soul Chain doesn't quite count, it's just a pull. But you can knock people down with Cascade, the ultimate skill on the right side. You also have the Soul Harvest skill, which leeches a little bit of life and focus for this hero. Then you got Shared Soul, which enfeebles himself but buffs the allies. It's really good to have a strong army with this guy. There's a knockdown combo. The Execute was too slow, however. You have to immediately do it because people get up quickly again after knockdown. Donhyperion did the build correctly. That's nice. But I'm not... okay, he will hold on to this base as well. The Warrior of the Depths is a difficult opponent to face with these guys, because you're just not going to be able to kill him for the longest time. In a way, Leasha's stealing one more base and it's got stone in it. So, very painful for the dwarves to experience that. But they have stone here. They have stone here. They'll be fine. Will be important to get this back though. Okay, there's a correct execute sequence. That was way stronger. Fighting over the flag didn't work out though. As Donhyperion takes that over, Leasha's gonna teleport north and work on the next sector after shooing away this walking corpse. But Donhyperion instantly reacts and forces that Warrior of the Depths to follow. Not great. Warrior of the Depths wants to be here and here. Well, what is Don up to? I thought he'd go back to his own place. One of the really great things about this map is that it's got 2 stone sector areas. Like there's one here, there's one here. So you can't just shut down stone operations by harassing one spot. You really got to be in multiple places. Oh yeah, that life leech thing, soul harvest, it also causes bleeding, so it's really great against these early workers. Leasha probably wants to get an upgrade for them. That's on the way now. Crazy amount of worker kills. But the new ones will be replenished over time. It's just a big slowdown in terms of the economy. Anyway, Don is now working on his own side. This map also has the moles that you've seen earlier. But it's got the giant spider big bosses. So you got the Huntress, you got the Trapper, and you got the Iron Skin. They both have different buffs and debuffs. You also got these wolves, which actually are really strong in terms of damage. But they're kind of glass cannons. So they'll be going down quickly. I don't think Donhyperion will be able to contest this top sector here with the pest bugs. But he can take the other sectors, which is good enough. Can he win the flag fight? Got a lot of health on the Skull Knight. And harassment here is insane. I mean, the skeleton archers are already at work. Slowing down Leasha's stone gathering. Workers have been upgraded twice already by her. And we've got the 2 axulars out as well. Terror is applied. Can we get the execute damage to go through? Looks like it. Was that just a normal hit again? You have to be really, really perfect with that timing in order to get the full damage through. I think the main objective in this map is to control both of the corner bases. If you do, you're denying dwarves a lot of very important iron. And you can obviously use that for your mobility as well. Like if you just keep switching between the 2 bases for attacking, dwarves are going to have a very difficult time to actually defend that. Now they're trying to hit back a little bit with this flag. But meanwhile, these undead are just going nuts over here. There's multiple hit squads. And Leasha's 4 resource operations are getting absolutely destroyed. But there's a cleanup crew. And skeleton archers should be going down now. This does give Don an opportunity to clean up the flag. Let's see if that happens. We go into the middle merchant. Somewhere here. Oh, I think we are. What are we buying? There's no special weapon here, I'm afraid. It's just potions.
Come again. May Tiara bless your path.
Many of the heroes in this new mod have special weapons at the mid-map store. They can't get their usual tier 3 items, but if they can get this cool weapon with an effect, that's usually worth it. Or armors. Not everyone is done on that, but many of the heroes do have stuff now. Which I think just makes the game a lot cooler. Good pickoffs there. For the axe wielders to stay out here would be prudent, I think. Especially that guy just needs to run all the way home. Is he gonna get soul harvested? I think so. Oh, he's gonna get soul harvest. Oh, wait. Huh. Gets away. Lucky. Oh, there's a lot more stuff here. Skelly archers, mostly. Bunch of the walking corpses as well. He's going tier 2 now. Not terribly worried about the dwarves attacking him. Will Leasha just go after the cave spawn there? Oh, wait. Well, the creeps are aggressive now. They've been pissed off. What's going on there with the dwarves? Ah, misclick. Wrong target. Didn't get the execute damage through. Did I talk about the ultimates for this hero? We'll see after this fight. So you've got the Battle Trance, which hits additional targets and buffs damage, including for abilities. Faster movement speed, faster casting, faster attacks. And you got Cascade, obviously, which is this powerful knockdown. So something like using the pull and then knocking people down, all the while focusing them with the entire army, of course. And then using the execute combo, as you've seen. And then doing it again with Cascade. Just basically a guaranteed hero kill in the late game. So that's what you want to get to. But I don't think this hero is particularly a brawler. He's not strong in terms of health. Alright, so you don't want to mess around with people too much. You don't scale with health. So staying out of the bigger fights is probably the way to go. Takes over the Godstone. Nice pull there on the Warrior of the Depths. But he's still going strong. Level 4 is reached for the Skull Knight. But with so many sentries coming out, I'm starting to be worried for Donhyperion. Is he just gonna get sniped by this thing? Once these guys get upgraded and get their deployed stance, the undead heroes are definitely vulnerable there. However, that's a pickoff there. And 9 workers are idle for Leasha. I'm not sure what's happening. Where are they? Oh, new base. Okay, that doesn't count. The rest got fixed. Anyway, pulling back now. And tier 2 should be coming soon. Indeed, there it is. Maybe a bit of a shopping run for the warrior. But this does give Don an opportunity to go and take the big creeps, as he's got such a large army now. With so many spiders, I think you just have no issue going after the spiders. What's Leasha buying?
Building complete.
Nothing. She forgot to shop? I mean, there are 3 wolf hides here. Could buy a tier 2 armor.
I'm here.
Anyway, Don's gonna be fine, it looks like. What did he buy? Tier 2 armor. A bit of extra resistances there. I don't think Don needs to do anything in particular right now. Like, as long as he just keeps growing and gets all these sectors upgraded, he will be able to pump very, very hard. And perhaps get out some cavalry to deal with the sentries. That's probably what he needs to do. And keep the hero away from them. That's pretty important. Then again, the cav aren't the best option against the axe wielders. See if he makes any. Right now it's just revenants. Scrappers have been out and about as well to collect the mid-map scrap. Leasha isn't doing much about that right now, but might be stealing the creeps. This is a very large army, so should have no problem doing so. Yeah, dwarves are doing great, I'd say. There's a poison. It's a very strong poison, 15 per second, and it stays on a long time. I'm not sure how long exactly, but it's still going. Spiders also got hastened, but they are all taken down now. Now, we don't have deploy for the sentries. This is a huge opportunity for Donhyperion to go in for a punish. But I think Leasha is just going to teleport out. Leave the base to Dawn. That's perfectly fine. What's the items that she found? Frozen Time. An artifact ring. It's a lot of extra casting and attack speed. That's great news for the Warrior of the Depths, as he kind of scales with his attack stacking.
We have no more room for troops. We need to improve our outposts.
They might be meeting over the other side. We'll see if those sentries have their ability getting researched. There is no upgrade building, actually. So no, won't be happening. Leasha is actually kind of lacking sector upgrades at the moment, so if these frontier posts could upgrade to fortified, that would be great. Easily taking the spiders over, of course. That's not a big issue ever when you have such a large army. They kind of cease becoming a challenge. So this is kind of a late grab actually from both sides. 14 minutes. You almost want to think about tier 3 by that point. Not creeping. Anyways. Donhyperion has his combat focus in there, but he gets sniped by an immense amount of skeleton archers. And there weren't enough Earthshapers in here to shield him. She didn't have the armor on the hero either. This is just overwhelming amounts of undead units, man. Absolutely overwhelming. 170 population for Donhyperion. Leasha's in serious trouble here, especially if all those echoes get harvested. Oh my goodness. Oh my. Hey guys, why is it on Twitch that precisely after the 1 hour mark, the viewership doubles like that? Is the first hour not interesting? I don't know how this works. Just went from freaking 12 viewers to 20. Okay. Just Twitch things. Hey, I like this. Leasha is gonna be swapping into some more riders to go do some damage. Crew just woke up. Takes an hour to notice a stream, but precisely 1 hour. You know, not 59 minutes. No. It's 1 hour. There's something not right about this. It stinks. I smell corruption. It's a level 2 corruption at least. Stinky cloud. That Warrior of the Depths is getting sniped again. The pull is just so brutal. Look at that. Didn't even require the execute combo. Leasha is at 220 that's Donhyperion is at 220 population, and the undead are still growing. They can go until 250, I believe, still? Or is 225 the max now? I forget. It's definitely a lot, and even the fortified outpost can't out-repair this. Even though it's just very basic units fighting. The Earthshapers are a nice addition, but the skeleton archers actually are more scared of strike damage than they are of this. So I'm wondering if it would be prudent to get out a handful of fire golems. That could be pretty good. Hour of no power. I felt I had no power here, that's true. Should be some big soul harvest here from Don. Is he getting a hero back or what? Oh, from the middle, that's ballsy. But I guess since Leasha's hero was dead too, it's cool. Nobody can take that away. We got the armored boon now from the Revenant Knights applying as well. If that base gets taken over, there's actually a lot of stone here to pick up, and honestly, Dawn kind of needs it. He's trying to build all sorts of stuff, and if he goes tier 3, it'll be especially useful. Undead Curse is getting researched at the moment. It doesn't look like the image works at the moment. Decent soul harvest coming through. And that School Knight has his ultimate ability as well there. Doesn't seem to have a name on it. But it's his Battle Trance, that's it. Snipe on the Warrior of the Depths again. It's just too much damage from all those ranged boys. The addition of the Fire Golems is very welcome, but there's just too many undead. And Leasha can't tower defense this. Donhyperion will be winning the series 2-1. Congratulations. GG's. And thanks for sending them in. Now, if you guys want to send in some too, you know SpellForce 3 is technically free to play, and you can get these mods, and then you get more than the one basic faction that you unlock. So that's one way to get more of an experience for free. And if you guys send me your replays, then I'll do my best to cast them. Much appreciated. If you're on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.